Russ. I got to close that door there. John Russ with the John Russ Show today, and we're going to be talking with Aurora Mayor John Laesch here about his thoughts and just where he sees the city of Aurora going as a follow-up to his State of the City address from last Thursday. And outside right now, it's a great 56, and I think it's going to be getting warmer. So we're going to take that right down right now, and we're going to bring up Mayor John here in 1 second. We're bringing up Mayor John right now. So there's Mayor John Laesch, and we thank you, Mayor, for being with me today. And you're
Thanks for
looking
having me.
chipper, and you haven't been worn out yet from this new job. You're still smiling, I see. So that's a good sign.
Got a lot of energy, so ready to keep working
You haven't
7 days
lost
a
your
week.
hair yet, have you? You haven't lost more hair yet?
No, well, I probably have lost a little on this job.
I remember Barack Obama had real dark hair, and then by the end of his term, or 8 years, it was a little more gray there.
Sure, it's
And,
a high
well,
stress job, no doubt about it.
that's understandable. Nothing wrong with that. But last Thursday, you had an address at the Aurora University through many city friends and your city council there and others to tell about the state of the city. You went through various departments, which was very interesting, I thought, and then you had other thoughts. So, what what are the big takeaways? Would you say from your first year in office? What what did you see as your pluses or minuses or whatever? How did it go for this first year in doing this job?
So first of all, when I campaigned, what I said is that we wanted to maintain the success that previous mayors have made in revitalizing our downtown. When what I want to do in probably the next year and coming years is shift over and start trying to build more of a living wage economy with better paying jobs here in the city of Aurora. So we went through department by department to talk about the accomplishments of all of the people in each department and then also highlight some of their goals and things that are coming up. So that was kind of the format. But when it came to addressing the continued success of downtown, we highlighted 3 businesses that have opened up. There's more that are coming and on their way. The Paramount is doing better than ever. The River Edge Park, which was closed last year, is scheduled to reopen on June 20th, and we've got some bigger acts and bigger shows like Third Eye Blind. So there's a lot of excitement downtown. And then at the sort of the second half of the presentation was to highlight my goals to move Aurora towards a more sustainable future. Specifically, you're going to hear me talking a lot about energy and in terms of renewable energy, but also energy efficiency. And the reason why is very clear. There's, the Strait of Hormuz has caused disruption in world oil markets, which is driving up the cost of petroleum, which means that more people are going to be interested in getting an electric vehicle simply because it's cheaper. The second big piece is that data centers are gobbling up energy, and that cost is being shifted onto the Aurora residents, or pretty much any resident in the PJM power grid territory. So, we need to think about how we're going to keep energy affordable. I'm proposing and working to get a passive house built and to change our building codes. We talked about how we had established the CEJA Workforce Development Hub to train Aurora workers for this coming green collar economy. So that step is done. The next step is creating incentives, make it easier for people to make their houses more energy efficient, but also build more passive homes and help people save on their heating and cooling bills. So there was a number of other financial instruments and incentive programs that are already out there that we want to see the city of Aurora tap into. I highlighted Greenfest that's coming up and really just sort of laid the groundwork for some of the things that are coming in the next year. The reason that I focused on staff, John, was because we went through a bit of a budget crisis where
Okay.
we were attempting to cut $40 million out of the budget last year. We didn't get all the way. So I think we probably have another $6 million to go in 2027. But really, City of Aurora employees are doing more with less. And I wanted to acknowledge their hard work and commitment to the city, and let the Aurora taxpayers know that everybody's here on our side is working very hard.
Well, that's very important to have your people around you, and I know you had to bring in a somewhat of a new staff and to really support you, and I know that's a very important thing, and to have a good staff around you, and so you had a budget problem, right, that you're handling, and then you're looking in about ethics, right? I've read some on that. I haven't seen many. I should watch the city council on that one. I haven't done that. Sorry, but you know what the problems are on the ethics side. How is that looking to get a $1,500 cap on your? Are those donations 1,500 from certain and a certain
Sure.
that
Yes.
I didn't say this right. That certain that do business with the city, or was it 1,500 just totally? I don't quite. Can
Yeah.
you
Let
give me
me.
1,500?
Sure. The proposal that came out of the mayor's office was to limit donations that can be made to any elected official serving on the Aurora City Council or the Aurora Mayor to $1,500, only for companies that have contracts with the city of Aurora, companies that are looking for TIF incentives or other financial incentives out of the city. So it technically is described as doing business with the city. So if you have a city contract, the most you could donate to any older person or mayor is $1,500 in a calendar year. Honestly, it's a pretty weak measure, but I think it stops the $20,000 and $30,000 donations going into a elected official or candidate's campaign fund, and then you just happen to see that the exact same company win a pretty lucrative contract through the city of Aurora, or get a TIF or other development incentive. So it is it's an ethics reform bill that is currently being discussed by the city council. There are some city council members who are trying to water it down. We'll wait and see what happens at the next RAP meeting, but I expect it to move. And I think overall, what I said at the State of the City address, and I've been saying now, is that voters elected me twice, both for alderman, which is citywide alderman seat, and as mayor, with this idea that they want ethical government. They want government that works for them. They don't want it to work for the wealthy, politically connected few. And so that's what we're trying to deliver. There's all the people that don't embrace it as it currently stands, and but we've been through 2 election cycles where voters have spoken very clearly about what they believe the direction of the city should be with respect to ethics.
So if somebody's doing business with the city, was that $1,500 total, or $1,500 per alderman, or how was that?
It's $1,500 per elected official per
So,
year.
so all your 10 aldermen, they could give 15,000 then to the alderman then? Is that
There's
what we're saying?
there's 12 aldermen, but in theory,
Well,
yes.
excuse me. Yeah, I got
Yep.
that wrong.
Yep.
But
Yep.
so they could give each one $1,500.
Correct.
Okay. And then the mayor's office too then, right? The
Sure.
mayor.
Well, to be clear, I've never taken any donations from
Oh,
people
okay.
that have
Corporate
contracts. I've
donations. Okay.
even returned $50 donations when people, come to a fundraiser, donate $50, and then say, "Hey, I want you to do this." I tell you, I'm here to listen. That's my job, but I'm going to give you the $50 back. And then, I don't want any allegations of quid pro quo in any way.
Okay. I understand. I just want, and then there's another proposal somewhat related. Well, I don't know if it's related. That an alderman wants to get, maybe more than one, wants to get the government run a little differently. Whether the city manager idea is, what I know our former mayor, David Pierce, didn't he go up to Arlington Heights, and wasn't he a city manager for Arlington Heights, I think, former mayor David Pierce?
Well, we do have, administrative staff here in the city of Aurora, just like we do anywhere else.
Right,
Probably the one with the most experience is Dr. Brian Caputo, who works as Chief Operations Officer. Then there's the Chief of Staff, Shannon Cameron. The two of them pretty much split up a lot of the city duties uh,
right,
and work very closely. All of our offices are very closely. And then the mayor's job is also to provide direction for the city and provide direction for the 1,100 plus staff. So, I work full time to do this. The concept of a city manager, there's nothing wrong with it. There's forms of government that work that way. What I would say is the reason the elected mayor is better is because the voters can throw you out. If you're doing a bad job, the voters can throw you
yeah,
out.
right. They
Where a
can throw
city,
you out.
right, where a city manager is sort of managed by, in this case, it would be 12 older people giving different direction, and it would be very challenging and remove the people's voice from the process. And secondly, those older people, all they have to do is get elected. Some of them are engaged, some are not. Some have been around for years and know the right questions to ask. But it's a part-time job, and you could get in the same way that the last administration. I think a lot of aldermen said, "Hey, they did not know that there was a budget issue. They trusted city staff."
Right.
And that could happen even in Batavia, right? Batavia has a horrible energy contract, and
Oh, don't talk.
uh,
I talked to the mayor about that. Yeah, he knows it's
it's
horrible.
it's true, and they have a city manager form of government, right? They don't have a strong mayor form of government, and you can't get rid of a city manager as easily as you can a mayor.
Well, they snuck that one in on Batavia. I've been upset about that for a long time. I
Sure.
found out that it's not quite as bad as it could be, but it's not great.
Well,
Um,
the only point I was trying to make is that both Naperville and Batavia both have kind of raw deals with IMEA, and I think on their energy, and I think that those deals negotiated by an alderman or a elected official who has to respond to the public when those bad decisions are made.
I agree, and that can dilute. That happens a lot of times with businesses. They subcontract it out, so then they don't have as much responsibility. They think, and we lose. I think that's. I would use that argument on healthcare too. That when they say the government getting involved in healthcare, yeah, you can boot those guys out if you don't like their healthcare proposals. And I think that it's good government, but if we get it rigged, now that's another story. We're maybe working on some rigging of the government on elections coming up here. I hope not, but
Hmm,
that could. But that is a way to go. You are responsible then for the management of the city, and people can kick you out or praise you and reelect you. And
exactly. It puts the power in the hands of the people.
yes, yes, that's a very good point. And then you're trying to. I think this what you're trying to do is make Aurora a future city, not just a current city. I mean, you want to make Aurora move ahead with some of these energy thoughts of your ecosystem ideas, and I can see some of your. I don't know much about your background as a laborer or carpenter, but it seems like it's creeping in here in a good way that you want to Aurora to take some of these ideas and move ahead.
Sure. So my exposure to the German Passive House came actually by just attending events and learning more. And I have a really old historic home on the east side. It's 120 years old now. When I first moved here, I was probably paying $600 a month in heating bills.
Oh, really?
December,
Wow.
January, right? And so I started to ask myself, how can I, make my house more energy efficient? And I started finding out what the most efficient homes were, and it turns out the Germans can build a house that does not require a conventional heating or cooling system. So you don't even need a furnace in the dead of winter. It's super insulated house. It's got very controlled ventilation, so you only are bringing in as many air changes, fresh air, as you need for the occupants who are in the house. It's very scientifically constructed, and it is building code in Germany. So once again, the United States is far behind. But as I mentioned earlier, as the cost of energy goes up because of all these data centers driving the cost of energy up, there's going to be a need for better energy efficient homes to save people money. And as well as the Earth's temperature continues to rise because of global warming, people are going to want to be in a comfortable house. If it's costing $500-$600 to cool that house in the middle of summer right now, that price is going to be $1,000-$1,500. It's just going to continue to go through the roof.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, and then trying to probably capitalize that with business and industry to be in the city of Aurora along those lines too, right? Mayor, you want to attract others to come here and
Yep.
Aurora to be that city of light. Batavia's got a, we'll let you copy that name from Batavia. They call it the city of energy, but you can do that too in Aurora. We I don't know what, that was the windmill that brought that, but anyway, go on.
How's this? If we'll let Batavia still continue to be the windmill city, but we'll make sure that when in 2029, when projected brownouts are happening, that the city of lights, the lights are always on.
Yeah, we want to keep it going here. Well, I'm just trying to say, we spread the wealth here between, I'm a little Batavia background, so I want to spread a little, but we wanted the Aurora really to benefit here. And actually, Aurora has part of the Fermi Lab. That's where they get the other idea from, Fermi Lab of energy. And Aurora's got some roots in Fermi Lab too, I think, right on the roads there. So, but anyway, we need more energy, and Aurora is going to be working. And you had that really on a data center. I saw that graph. I go, wow, that's a boost by 2029, almost double, right? Was that in the state of? Was that just Commonwealth Edison went from 20 to 30, 24 to 30, so 54 mega, gigawatts or whatever it was.
That's it. Yes, currently with 6 nuclear plants and some wind and solar and natural gas plants all in one portfolio, they're producing about 24 gigawatts of power, and they're projecting that we'll need another 30 gigawatts power. So 54, you've got it correct. And that number is probably going to be flexible and will change, but that's just based on the applications for data centers that they already have
Right.
over the next coming 3 years.
Now, as Aurora is watching that, have they told, how is the data center story for Aurora? I forgot. What's the story on that? Are we just looking at very cautiously, or what would you say? Where are
Well, we
you
did,
at?
yeah. So we did pass some data center regulations. We looked to regulate sound, energy usage, water. So there's distance from people's houses, so the noise from those cooling fans doesn't impact the neighborhood. But yes, energy is probably going to be the big thing, and I think after we passed our ordinance here, was one of the more stringent in the state of Illinois. Two things happened. One is that we were able to continue conversations with a company that wants to build a very high tech green data center here in the city.
Okay.
So these regulations didn't stop construction or people wanting to come here. And then secondly, we I was invited to go down and testify in Springfield because Springfield's looking at passing their own sets of regulations. So the big hope here is that there's a requirement to bring their own power and bring renewable power. That's the big hope. But a lot of these data centers are moving quickly and trying to get online, and the whole energy piece is going to be behind. And additionally, we allow for battery storage in ours, and I think battery storage is going to be a big piece of it as well, just to increase capacity.
That is where a lot of quote political money is too. I understand that too with legislators and I suppose aldermen too. This data center money that they would want to get, as you said, just move faster so you don't really think on it too much. It seems like that's out there. Uh, so, where do you see Aurora like in the end of your first term here? What would you like to see there?
Well, we've put some pieces in place, and not all of it gets done in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or even 4 years. You just got to start the ball moving in that direction to where we can try and attract better paying jobs. So there's fewer people living in poverty, fewer people not able to buy a house, fewer people living on the streets. That's the big overarching goal, is to create more economic opportunity here in the city of Aurora and continue to address some of the concerns people have. So I didn't hit on it too much in my State of the City address, but I'm trying to make our government more responsive. So when people call about maybe a tree branch being down in the middle of the street, or a pothole or something like that, that we're on it, and we're responsive to our residents' needs. Another responsive element that probably will reach people throughout the Fox Valley area is we have this really cool historic old sign called the Northgate sign, right as you come in.
I know about
Yeah,
that.
right as you come in on Route 31. And so this is an example of being responsive. A number of citizens and residents in that area, community advocates, have been trying to raise money for this, and it needs some city participation in that. The owner of the shopping mall does not want to maintain the old sign, so they want to give that sign to the city. We believe that we're going to be able to raise enough money through grants and donations. There's a lot of enthusiasm for this. We want to put a time capsule in it, so people in the future can recognize who saved this old sign, and hopefully they'll be inspired to keep the sign and do what they have to do to keep it alive for another 35, 50 years. But that's kind of an idea, right, of something that this idea came from the community. It's something that they wanted. The Orchard Road sound was another. I've been begging for that sound wall, so we bumped it up on a priority list to get it done. We're hoping to start construction 2026. It's just trying to make sure that we're providing responsive government for the people that works for everybody. And
That's
also, John,
exciting.
be a little bit forward thinking about the trajectory of our city to address future problems before they get here, because the data center thing is right around the corner, moving quickly, and it's only a matter of time before we're unable to meet the energy needs of those new data centers and the needs of residents in residential areas or businesses to keep the lights on.
I think that's right, and I think you're doing a good job of trying to push the city and moving ahead on those things. I think that's a very good point. And well, in Northgate, you're going to have a sign there, but you're not bringing back Sears, though. No,
No, nope.
well, I don't think anybody's going to bring back Sears. That's another story where that went down the tubes. But I'm glad you're thinking ahead there in the city of Aurora, Mayor John. And I just thank you for being with me here for a little while and just sharing a few things with me. And
Sure.
is there anything you want to sort of wrap up with here, as they say, a closing thought? Would you say?
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for the opportunity to be on here and share some of the exciting stuff that's happening in the city with your viewers and audiences. Um, I think that being available and in a community and accessible is part of my job. So, being on these podcasts and sharing information about what's happening, or talking to residents at community events, or things like the State of the City, to kind of keep people updated as to what's going on, is part of my job to communicate better about what's coming, what's going to be on the horizon here in the city. And that's what the address was about. And I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to be on your show and sort of share that same message with your audience.
Thank you very much for doing this, and you have got a lot of challenges, but you're moving forward, and I really appreciate you taking time here to do this, Sarah. And we just wish the best and prayers for you in the city of Aurora in the days ahead. And tomorrow or on Wednesday, we're gonna have our Aurora Library head librarian, Michaela Happer.
She's great. You're gonna love it.
Yeah,
It'll
she's
be
got.
great. That'll be great. They've got all kinds of exciting stuff happening at the Aurora Library.
I butchered her last name again. I don't know. She forgive me. She's a good lady. She'll forgive me. But Michaela is part of our Kiwanis. Oh, I gotta give Mayor Laesch a pat on the back, a good handshake, just a big thank you. He was with our Kiwanis. He flipped more pancakes than you wanted. He flipped a lot of pancakes, and he was a very good volunteer. So I appreciate his volunteerism, and you can see that's part of his thinking. And I really thank you for that, Mayor.
Sure.
And
You guys meet tomorrow, right, at noon?
yes, yes.
Okay. I'll try and make it over there.
Yeah, let me see. What I forgot what you caught me off guard. What's our tomorrow meeting? I should know. Sorry. It'll come to me after a while. But yeah, we do meet at noon at the Frisco Center. So yeah, you're welcome to come by. It'll come to me what our meeting is about. I'm embarrassed now.
Yeah.
My old age is catching up here, Mayor. I'm sorry.
We'll see. We'll see you tomorrow then.
I have it on my. I write up the calendar too. You caught me off guard here. But it'll come by tomorrow though. But I'll text you.
All right. Cool. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for your work in the city of Aurora and being with us and today. And like I said, we'll have the Aurora Library on Wednesday, and then Friday we're going to have Dr. Gaddis, who's going to give us a little history about that's more current event orientated, and
Another
probably
great
more
guy. You're
political.
gonna love that interview. He's a great,
More
brilliant thinker
political.
and
We
philosopher.
get a little more political than on Friday.
Yeah.
And by Friday, I'll know what I had on what the Kiwanis was on Tuesday. I'll have that. I'll have that down pat by then. I'll,
All right then.
uh, okay, I can't remember it right now. So anyway, we'll see you then.
All right. Sounds good. Thank
Sorry,
you, John.
folks. This is the mayor caught me with a question, and now he had good answers, but I don't have the answer for that question. As they say, though, I'll dig it up. Isn't that what we're supposed to say?
Sure.
We'll come back. At least I admit I don't know it right now. I could claim something else here. I don't know. I'll claim old age, I guess, or Alzheimer's or something. I don't know. No, we'll just claim old age. Well, anyway, thank you again, Mia Latch, and I guess we'll go out smiling here at least, right?
You
Thank
bet.
you very much. I'm going to turn this off right now and see you then on Wednesday at 5 p.m. with Michaela, Executive Director of the Aurora Public Library District. So thank you very much. Bye bye now. Okay.